Now, usually in art, artists deal only with pigments and so can't accurately copy those type of effects. But Francesca's now going to talk about a breakthrough where we might be able to more accurately mimic those types of colours in nature.
Okay, so I mean, that's quite a whistle-stop tour through a large amount of research from you. But so basically we're looking at these colours that are produced not through dyes or pigments, but through these structures. And so that must be quite an interesting thing for you, Franziska, to try and recreate, as you said, if you want to try and capture these kind of things in your art. Just to start us off, when did you start working on this? When did you become interested in this area?
I think, with most things, it happened a long time before these materials actually became available. My work developed towards wanting these, and when they became available, I really started immediately to look into it and trying to overcome all the different complications involved. But this is actually work that goes back quite a while, 2000, and this is pigments. I haven't used any of these latest.
So this is your background?
This is the background. This is how explaining why did I get there, what am I interested in. This is obviously dark and light, not much color. But the color that we are looking at is actually produced by light. And I've got, this is the materials that I'm using now. As you can see, there is actually no visible color here. The color is being produced by light interacting with something that's actually colorless. But I was interested in light and dark. I did this around the millennium. I was interested in where are we coming from, where are we going. It is to do with evolution. The baby is the future, the sea is the past. Is the baby going to survive or being swallowed by the fish? I'm not sure. Well, I'd like to think, hopefully, it'll just manage to go past the fish. This is, again, I was looking into change, trying to introduce change into painting. I was looking at childhood and aging and how things change over time, trying to introduce that into painting. Here I've contrasted the coelacanths, which is a living fossil fish, with the person who found it. I'll just go through quickly just to give you some sort of background. I think in this one you can really see my interest in light and also camouflage, something that 1 minute appears, you can recognize, the next minute it becomes invisible, and how color is being used to achieve that. That's ordinary pigments. That is not the materials that I'm using now, but it's leading to that. And I was trying to get two colors here without the pigments. I'm interested in surface. Here I was already not using the pigments, but reflective materials that also interact with light. And this is actually using these for the first time, trying to, I was working on the cuttlefish, which changes color and texture. And some of this is the same color, but because you're looking at from different angles, it looks different.
So you're sort of moving on then to going from sort of trying to recreate these creatures, but then sort of using these new techniques to try and play further with this idea of light and shade and painting with light almost.
Painting with light.
In order to recreate the shapes. Do we have any questions at this point, actually? Is there anything anyone would like to ask, either about Andrew's research or Franziska's work so far? We've got one at the back. Fantastic.
Hi, I'm just looking at the material you just showed us in the bottle. It looks like a liquid. When you apply it, do you have to do something to the surface to create those different reflections? Or how does that work?
It is actually not a liquid, it's a powder that has to then be turned into paint because these are not available as commercial paints yet. So I start with this, and I quickly run through the process. I make paint, I look at all the different kinds of colors that I can achieve. I go through a layered way of working in which I start with a drawing and then I introduce the color. But very important is actually the texture, because the texture enhances the effect depending on how the light catches the surface, and that is really then drawing with light, and that's what I'm really interested in. So I'm just, again, moving very quickly. Different materials, beads, waxes, working into final work